Today. It's so wonderful to be in Worcester. Worcester County is where we have some real opportunities to make some big time changes come November. You got the tallest candidate for sheriff in Massachusetts, Lou Evangelitis. You got Kim Roy running for the state senate. You got Marty Lamb taking on Jim McGovern for the U.S. You got Mary Z. You gotta be a lawyer to be the Attorney General. Maybe you should be an auditor to be the auditor. You got Ronnie Josephson running for the legislature on the House side. You got Jim Casey, who's knocked on every single door in Worcester County, running for Governor's Council. You got Matt Beaton running for Karen Polito's old seat. You got the woman who got us all together, Jen Nassar, chair of the State Republican Party. You know, Scott's right. This isn't about Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. This is about the direction of our state and the choice that you all have to make on Tuesday. The choice. You can choose more taxes, higher spending, more regulations, fewer jobs, more corruption.
No. Against the wall.
More insider deals.
No.
Just to prove this isn't Democrats or Republicans, Ted Kennedy Jr., front page of the Herald today, talking about insider sweetheart deal on Cape Wind, $4 billion in higher electricity costs for everybody in Massachusetts. That, my friends, is an insider deal. That, my friends, is what's wrong with Beacon Hill. And that's, my friends, what we are going to change in January. That was very well done. You guys are getting good at this.
No problem. No problem.
This is a great state, folks, and it is full of great, wonderful people. Okay, having spent the last 15 months leaving my job at Harvard Pilgrim, traveling around from one end to the other, I've had a chance. When you run for governor, it's like a license to just walk into somebody's living room or their kitchen or their backyard or their shop floor or their loading dock or their town hall and just talk to them about what's going on in the Commonwealth of Mass. And this state is so full of so many great and wonderful people. And let me tell you something. People in Massachusetts, they know how to stretch a buck. And they've been stretching a buck for the last 4 years as they've been living with this recession. They know how to stretch a buck. But Beacon Hill, Governor Patrick, they're not playing by the same rules you've been playing by for the last 4 years. Revenue went down and spending went up by $3.5 billion. And when they had a revenue problem, when they had a problem making the budget work, what do? You change the way you behave. You change the way you operate. You change your behavior. You don't go out as often. You shop differently. On Beacon Hill, they don't call that a spending problem. They call that a revenue problem. They come back to you and they raise taxes. That is not what you do if you're serious about getting people back to work in the midst of a recession. You can't raise taxes over and over and over again 8 times and expect to generate jobs. That's why we lost 21,000 jobs in September. The largest single job loss in 1 month in 20 years in Massachusetts, and the largest job loss in the country on a per capita basis. And yet the governor keeps talking about how everything's heading in the right direction. Well, if he thinks it's heading in the right direction, trust me, folks, this is what we get from him for the next 4 years. He talks about tax. He says talking about taxes like it's a dirty word isn't mature. He said we should have a mature conversation about taxes. Well, we've had a mature conversation about taxes over and over and over again over the course of the past 15 years. And the voters of Massachusetts, every time they have a mature conversation about taxes with Beacon Hill, you know what they say? They say they've had enough. No more.
Yeah.
We agree.
Yeah.
We agree.
We've had enough. 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 We've had enough.
People say to me all the time, what's this election come down to? It's a very simple choice. You want 4 more years of higher taxes?
No!
You can vote for Deval Patrick.
No!
Do you want 4 more years of overspending?
No!
You can vote for Deval Patrick.
No!
You want 4 more years of job-killing regulation? You can vote for Deval Patrick.
No!
If you want 4...
We want Charlie! 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 We want Charlie!
If you want 4 years of a state government that plays by the same rules you play by, then you're going to vote for us. If you want 4 years of a leadership team that is going to lead on Beacon Hill, then you should vote for us. If you want 4 years of a leadership team that is going to reduce spending, reform state government, and change state government, then you should vote for us. If you want 4 years of a leadership team that's not going to push the state's problems off onto the cities and towns, then you should vote for us. And if you want 4 years of a leadership team that's going to get up every day and give you 150% of what it takes to get those 300,000 people who are out of work back to work, then you should vote for us. You know, my lovely wife, Lauren, she's put up with a lot the last 15 months. Actually, she's put up with a lot the last 23 years. But she and I talk all the time about what's going to happen with our 3 kids. They're 19, 16, and 13. And I'm sure you people who have kids have the same kind of conversation. Where are they going to plant their flag? Where are they going to make their life? Are they going to make it here in Massachusetts the same way my brothers and I did and the same way my parents did? Or are they going to make it in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Texas, and Florida, and all those other places that so many of our kids and our friends' kids and our friends have gone to, not because they wanted to leave, but because they simply felt their chance to make a life was somewhere else. And when people say to me that, that's talking down to Massachusetts, well, all they got to do is turn on the TV and watch the Red Sox when they play an away game. All those people who show up at those away games for the Red Sox who are Red Sox fans, those aren't people who were born in Tampa Bay. They weren't born in Atlanta. They weren't born in Dallas. They used to be our friends and neighbors. And they didn't leave because they wanted to. They left because their opportunity was someplace else. Well, let me tell you something. For me, this is personal, okay? I left that job at Harvard Pilgrim where we took a bankrupt and dysfunctional organization. Sound familiar? Yeah. And we turned it around and we fixed it and we made it the #1 health plan in the United States of America for 5 years in a row. And that was personal for me too. I knew we could do a better job and we did. And when I think about the state of Massachusetts and the great people who live here, the amazing, creative, innovative, and generous people who live here, I know you deserve a better state government than the one you're getting under Governor Patrick. And not only that, I know you can have a better government than the one you're getting under Governor Patrick. But you got to stay engaged through November 2nd. Every single hour counts. We have 3 days to close the deal, people. 3 days to change the players. You can't change the game if you don't change the players. You've got the players. They're all right here. They're all on the ballot. Great candidates from top to bottom, all running to reform state and federal government, rein in state and federal spending, create a climate for growth and for jobs, and get people back to work. A focus on the stuff that people care about, what I call the pocketbook issues. But we need to stay up and involved all the way through. You need to be sending to your email list. You need to be talking to your friends and neighbors. You need to be talking to your family members. And everybody who's going to vote has got to show up on Tuesday. And if they can't show up on Tuesday, they got to show up on Monday. Because the other side, folks, the people who think things are just fine on Beacon Hill, they're going to fight till the very end to hold on to what they've got. And it's going to be incumbent on all of you, to help us turn the tide and take back our state on November 2nd. Who's with me?